Hey good people, Arthur Morris here. Hope all is well. In this video we're going to look at polynomial long division. So this first problem we have 5x squared minus 40x plus 33 divided by x minus 7. So we are dividing by a binomial this time, in which case you will need to use either long division, or in some cases we can use what we call synthetic division. Long division, you go through the steps of your regular long division. You divide, multiply, subtract or change signs, bring down, and then you start the process over. All right, so let's look at this long division here. First thing I'm going to do is put an X. Set the problem up for long division. Now, one thing you have to make sure is that the variables or the polynomial on the inside or the dividend is in complete descending variable order. That means if we start with, say, a term that has x to the third, then our next term needs to be x squared, x to the first, and then the regular number. And we'll look and see what we need to do when we have missing terms. I think we'll see that in the synthetic division video. So this is x squared, and then I have x to the first, and then I have my regular number here, my integer. So this is in descending variable order, and I don't have any missing terms. So the first step is to divide. You want to divide the first term on the inside divided by the first term on the outside. So the first step is to divide the first term on the inside divided by the first term on the outside. And in your division step, you will always be dividing by that first term on the outside, but in the multiplication step, you will multiply by the entire x minus 7. So when I divide that, that gives me 5x squared divided by x, using my quotient rule, gives me 5x to the first power. So it doesn't matter where you put that. So 5x. The next step is to multiply. So whatever you get from step 1, you multiply times the outside, the 5x or the x minus 7. Okay, so 5x times x is 5x squared. And then 5x times negative 7 is negative 35x. Now the third step, if you remember long division, you would always change that sign or subtract. So we're going to do the same thing. So we got 5x squared minus 35x. So the third step, you have to subtract or change the signs. So that becomes negative 5x squared plus 35x. So you have to subtract or change the signs. So negative plus. And then you combine your like terms. So the 5x squared minus 5x squared cancels out. Negative 40x plus 35x is negative 5x. And then the fourth step is the bring down. Okay. So that's one round. After you get through with that, if you're not done, you need to start the process over. Okay. So bring down, now start the process over. So now we're going to we'll be looking at the negative 5x plus 33. That's where we're looking to start the process over. So I'll divide negative 5x by x, which gives us negative 5. Whatever we get here, that's what goes up top. So I'll put a minus 5 up there. And then the next step is to multiply. So negative 5 times x minus 7. So negative 5 times x is negative 5x. Negative 5 times negative 7 is positive 35. Alrighty. After we multiply, we have to subtract or change those signs of what we just got. So I have negative 5x plus 35, so that will become positive 5x minus 35. So you have to subtract that polynomial, which means you change those signs. And let me walk you through that step of exactly what that looks like. And we looked at this before. So if I subtract that polynomial, remember that means I have to distribute that subtraction or that negative to each term on the inside, which would change each one of those signs. So that's what I mean when I say subtract. All you have to do is to change the signs to subtract it. So that will become positive, and that will become negative. All right, let's simplify by combining the like terms. So negative 5x plus 5x will cancel out as they should, and 33 plus a negative 35 will give us negative 2. So we have a remainder of negative 2. So the way we would write this answer will be 5x minus 5 plus, and then we have to put our remainder in fraction form. Now you always put what you're dividing by in your denominator, and then your remainder goes in the numerator. That's how you write your remainder in fraction form. So 5x minus 5 that came from up top there, plus the remainder, and the remainder was negative 2, so it's plus negative 2 over x minus 7. Now, in some computer systems, they may have you to write the quotient, and then they may ask for the remainder separately. So if they ask for the remainder separately, then you would just put the number, of course. Okay. Okay, alrighty. Let's take a look at another one of those another problem like this one. So the steps here are the same as long division, the long division that we've done before. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down, start over. All right, so set the problem up. So whatever we're dividing by that goes on the outside, that's our divisor. And we have to make sure that this is in complete descending variable order, which means if I have an x square, then I must have a term that has x to the first and then my regular integer, which I do. I have x square, and then 40x to the first, and then 27. So we're good. And then from here, the process is the same as before. We will start off with our division step. We will divide the first term on the inside divided by the first term on the outside. So 15x squared divided by 3x. And you don't have to write this side work out if you don't need to. I'm just writing it out to show you. So 15 divided by 3 is 5, and then x squared divided by x is x, using our quotient rule. So that's what goes up top, 5x. Alrighty, after we divide, we multiply. So we take that 5x and multiply by the 3x plus 5. Okay, and that gives us 15x to the second plus 25x. And if you want to do both steps 2 and 3 before you write anything under there, that's fine, because step 3 says that we have to subtract or change those signs. So that will become negative 15x squared minus 25x. All right, let's simplify that. 40 minus 25 is 15x. Bring down the plus 27. So after you bring down, you start the process over with the 15x plus 27. So again, step 1, 15x divided by the first term on the outside, 3x, to determine what goes up top in our quotient. So that equals 5 because the x's cancel each other out. So since it's a positive 5, we're going to say plus 5. Take that 5 and multiply it times the binomial on the outside. So that gives us 15x plus 25. And then remember that however you do it, you must change those signs, subtract or change those signs. So that becomes negative 15x minus 25. And then combine the like terms. So 27 plus negative 25 or minus 25 is 2, which is our remainder. Okay, so 5x plus 5 plus the remainder of 2 over 3x plus 5. Okay, so again, if it just asks for the quotient and then the remainder, then more than likely they just want the 2. But you can check your computer system and see how they want your answer, the method they want your answer in, or the form. Alrighty, good people. I'm sure someone is asking, well, how can you check this? Well, you can check it by multiplying the 5x plus 5 times 3x, the top times the outside, 5x plus 5 times 3x plus 5, and then adding the 2 to the end, and you should come up with 15x squared plus 40x plus 27. So if you chose to check it, you would check it by and then after you multiply those two things out, completely out, you would add 2 to whatever you get. So you can use your distributive property, add 2 to whatever you get, and you should get the 15x squared plus 40x plus 27. So that's how you can check it. Alrighty, good people. Hope you found this video to be helpful. Thank you.